Hi, my name is Meghana. I'm currently in my third semester of MISI program from Ferry State University, located in Big Rapids City, Michigan State, and United States of America. Today, I will be giving the demonstration of my project in business intelligence as part of my course assignment. I have performed this project under the supervision of my course instructor, Mr. Professor Greg Gogolin. Before beginning the demonstration, I would like to briefly explain about what ETL processing is all about. ETL processing plays one of the important roles in my project and in business intelligence as well. In short words, ETL processing is all about extracting, transforming, and loading the data. There are many sources of data available, like text files, like Excel files, which I can extract them into the another destination database by using ETL processing. There are loads and loads of raw data available every single day in organizations and businesses, as the data is growing everywhere and every time, every minute. In order to make the raw data as clean and transform data, the ETL processing come into the rescue. It helps us in making the business analytics, and it helps any organization in making the good reporting, which in return helps the organization grow in its productivity as well for making better decisions due to better business analytics and reporting. My project aim is to perform the ETL processing, and then once the data is stored in the database, like destination database, I would like to check for any missing data or error data in the destination database and try to capture the data into another table called error table. And if there are no errors found, I will get a message as no errors found. After performing this, I would like to create a reporting. By using a Tableau software, I have made a reporting of my errors which I have captured in the error table. Now let's get started to my demonstration using my SQL. Once I have connected to my SQL, you can see the databases. There are two databases, Northwind and Northwind Mart. Here the Northwind is my source database and Northwind Mart is my destination database. So I have performed the ETL processing in order to transform the data from Northwind to Northwind Mart as a clean data. I would like to show the coding for that. Okay. If you can see, this is the ETL processing code which transforms the data, extracts the data, and loads the data. First, we have created a database called Northwind Mart. The name Northwind Mart is given and required tables are created. The tables are created, and once the tables are created, now the data has to be loaded from Northwind to Northwind Mart. So if you can see, the data is transformed and loaded into the Northwind Mart. This is all the way the data is transformed here to the as necessary, and it is loaded into the Northwind Mart. Once the data is loaded into the Northwind Mart, now my aim is to check for the missing data or error data from the tables in Northwind Mart and capture that in the error table. Before performing that, we need to create a table named error table. before that, let's check for error table. I would like to truncate the error table, because if there is data, I cannot able to show my captured data, because I'm sorry, complete table. So I have truncated it. Truncate helps in deleting all the data, but not the columns. Once the data is deleted, now I would like to capture my data from customer. Let's check the customer dimension table. Let's customer dimension table. So you can see the facts has the many null values. The facts column has. Now I would like to capture this data into my error table. And for performing this, I have written a code which I have saved as one of my stored procedures. I always save my codes as stored procedure, which actually helps me easily to modify my codes if necessary. This is the code which I have given for that. So if you can see, I have used a function called if not exists, the condition statement, in which I have given when the facts is null, it should, when the facts is not null, it not exist. When the fact is not null, it means it will retrieve me a message called no errors found. And if the facts is null, if exists, this means that when the facts is null, my data has to be inserted into the error table in this way. My data has to be inserted like this. In this way, my data has to be inserted, and it should give me a error message as no value found. So let's check this. Let's execute this, and let's perform the execution. My stored procedure name is IE, and I'm executing this. You can see. Now my error table has got this all the data which has null values with the message as no value found with the error field reference name. I have given this column for my reference, the customer names, and this is the customer key, and this is the primary key for my error table. Now let's check the another table called employee dimension. Employee dim. So use not employee dimension. Let's execute this. Here you can see there is a lot of unknown value for region ID, which means that in the region table the -1 ID is given for the unknown regions. This means that all the employees doesn't have the proper region value. It's unknown. So I would like to store this data into my error table. For that, I have written a code as I give you the another code, the same code, but the difference is when there is -1, my errors will be stored in the error table. If not, I will get a message as no errors found. And again, I have given a message as unknown region as my error message. Now let's execute this. Now let's execute my stored procedure. Okay, now let's execute this. You can see that the data is captured. the unknown value is captured, and I have given an error message as unknown region. Again, I have given here the error field reference names as employee names and error field reference ID as my employee primary keys. Usually this field has whatever null value, whatever errors I'm finding, the table's primary key will be stored here. This is just to reference as customer names or employee names, product names, those will be stored here. This is the message I'm giving for whatever error I'm storing, and this is the primary key of my error table with an auto incrementation with some value. I have given the auto incrementation. So this is how my error data is captured. Now let's see how the non-error tables will give the message as no error tables or not. For that, let's select let's check for product table. Let's see if there are any errors. You can see that there are no errors and it's all clear. There are no null values, there are nothing. So now the value should be, the code should retrieve me the message as no error message. For that, I have created a stored procedure as IEE. Here the same, when there is, I have taken a primary column as a list unit price, and I have checked whether it's null. If it's null, if it doesn't exist, then no errors. And if it exists, again the data will be inserted into my error table with a error message as no value found. Let's execute this, and let's execute my IW to check whether it gives as a message as no error or it will be inserted into another table. Let's check. Okay, so this is the, as there are no errors or no null values or no empty values in the product dime table, I got a message as no errors found. So in this way, my project captures the errors, and if there are no errors, it retrieves the message as no errors found. And finally, I have made a report of these errors, like whatever error I have captured using the Tableau software. I have created a dashboard by mentioning that the fax data is not found and in employee region is unknown in the employee data. I have created a dashboard, and I have created a story that explains about how important to update the values of customers with no fax data, because it is so useful in communications. The fax is useful to share the important information or for any forms or communication. So it must, I have given a detail as it must be updated, and I have given an explanation about how important the employee region is, because in terms of any exploitation, the employee region is utilized for finding out where the employee is from and where he is working or where he is from. So the region of employee is required. So I have given a notice about the employee region must be updated as soon as possible. So therefore, in this way, I have created my reporting for my errors. So in this way, I have made my project that captures the error and reporting and ETL processing as well. Thank you so much, and take care.